Guys ready to rock and roll?
Let's do it.
Yeah. Guys, I'm Ryan from the Las Vegas Lair. Thanks for coming. Our program on Wingmanship. Nathan's come all the way from New York to help me deliver this. We've been working on it for a while now, and I think we got a treat for you guys. It's a subject in the community that's not really talked about a lot, and we've made a, I think it will be easier to comprehend as needed. Because everyone's very verbal, so we've made a very visual experience of this. Matt? Rock and roll.
Thank you. So Ryan runs a great outfit. It's a really good lair. I love Las Vegas. This is my favorite city, maybe only after New York. My name is Nathan. What was I've written So here's the reason why I think this is the best subject. Because everybody wants to know how to get good fast. How do I get good fast? How do I just become a rock star overnight? And the way you do that, the best way is to hang out with guys who are better than you. Is to spend time around people who are better than you constantly. Because if you spend time with guys that are not as good as you, then you find yourself in the teacher role. And when you're in the teacher role, you're not improving. You're helping others improve. Wow, that's a lot of cameras for such a small thing. What is that, like 4 cameras? Jeez. All right. So I'll tell you my own path, how I did this. What I did was I figured out in order to spend time with these guys, I have to bring value to them. Now you can go and hire them for personal coaching and spend $1,000 a day or whatever their particular going rate is. But I had an unusual angle. One of the things I did when I first got in the community is I spent about a year traveling around the country and sergeing with all of the big leagues out there. And the way I would bring value to them is I would take care of their obstacles. And I've taken care of some obstacles that would make you fine. You don't have to fuck them, you just have to occupy them. Okay? I have winged transvestites, okay, in New York's Lower East Side. So, I have gone above and beyond the call of duty. And as a result of that, I've had the opportunity to hang out with guys that are really good and learn a lot. And that's why my game grew so much so quickly. And why I don't see that with a lot of guys. So that's why winging is really the subject to getting good fast. When guys talk about how to get good fast, this is, I believe, the most direct way. Because how do you bring that guy value? I mean, the unfortunate reality is guys who are better than you don't want to hang out. I mean, I think you know this already. So how do you bring value to them? Obviously, that's not the only way you can bring value. And I got a little bit of gas because that Korean barbecue beef was outstanding. But let's talk about winning now that we're on this subject. How many guys have heard?
Before you guys start, we have our contact info right here for you. This is myself and Nathan. And if you guys take our phones out, enter that, and also put them on vibrate.
Yeah, I'll repeat that for those of you that are in the back of the room that might not be able to see it. Ryan is 702-764-6472. He is at Ryan.Jaunzemis@yahoo.com. That's www.takeherhometonight.com. And I am Nathan PUA, 212-777-0002. I'm reading it like I don't really know it. And my email is nylairchief@gmail.com. And the group here locally in New York, in Las Vegas, I forget what city I'm in sometimes, is meetup.com/Las Vegas Wingman. Wingman, right, exactly. All right, cool. You want to go to the next slide? Yeah. Okay, so before we get into this quote, you can read the quote. Actually, I'll give you 15 seconds to read the quote so we can actually listen to it. What's the quote? The wing is not there to get laid. The wing is only there to offer logistical support to assist the primary in getting laid. However, if the opportunity for sex presents itself, then he may cautiously proceed without being too overly sexual or blowing himself out. Wow, I say great things, don't I? I think you wrote that.
It looks nice.
It does. Hippocratic Oath. How many guys know the oath that doctors take? The Hippocratic Oath. What is it?
First, do no harm.
There you go. The first rule of winging is just like doctors. First, do no harm. Do not cause the set to end. Do not blow the set out. Okay? The second thing is you're not there to get laid. Do not go out that night with the expectation of getting laid. Do not go into that set with the expectation of getting laid. That's not why you're there. Okay? The reason why this is such a great topic is because naturals can't do this. They don't have teamwork, generally speaking. They cannot work as a team. And this is really the only area where community knowledge or community teaching can give you an advantage over naturals and can actually cause you to take the set from them, win the set from them, not lose the set to them. Okay? So, from that perspective, this is priceless stuff. If you have a good wing, that will get you laid and get you more results faster and better than you will get laid the same amount as a guy who has twice your level of game. Because there's an exponential thing that occurs when you have two guys that are decent working together as a team in unison. Okay? But in order for that to happen, you have to have selflessness. Somebody there has to be willing to not get laid, jump on the grenade, do these things. The interesting byproduct of all of this, though, is that if you do it right and it works well, so well, that the wing will probably get laid also, but he shouldn't be trying to. Okay? You want to say something about selflessness?
Yeah.
Yeah, please do. You're very
You guys
good.
got to have that mindset of abundance. That there are so many women out there that if you don't get this one girl that's in that set, which is the obstacle, by the way, if you don't get her, it's okay. You're going to be the man tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is your birthday, and you're the PUA. And your wing, who you went out and hooked up last night, is going to in turn hook you up. See, a lot of people have this scarcity mindset that they're like, oh my God, now this girl's in front of me and I gotta fuck her. What are you doing? Like, just hold her, you know, you gotta occupy her, and you gotta, where did it go?
Oh, I put it over there. Sorry. I thought,
Damn, I was on a roll. Okay, no, but you're gonna be having to do things with that obstacle that's going to annoy you, like you said, how to wing a transvestite. I mean, you're not just sitting there talking to her. I mean, you can do the talk about the weather just to get her engaged in the conversation so that she forgets about her friend for a minute so that that guy can get his number or extract her or whatever he's doing. But sometimes you're going to have to go farther than that because you might have to move with that set. If he actually builds attraction with this girl and they decide, we're going to go get a burger, we're going to go for pizza, we're going to go for a drink, you're going to have to escort her. You're going to be your guide. You're going to be hand-holding with her. Some girl that you may cringe like looking at. But you've got to do that. You've got to make that happen because if you lose her, you lose the set. She's going to pull her friend. This guy has low value. She doesn't want to be with him. And she's going to be like, let's go to the bathroom, and they're gone. So it's your job when you're the wing to take that position. And also, when you're out with your wing, you're going to notice when you go out with yourself, the repetitive pattern that most guys do is they'll get dressed, they get out to the club, they're ready to go, they walk in the door, and the first thing they do, they order a drink, and then they're stuck. They're going to freeze up. By having a wing there, it's going to augment your esteem. You're also there in a talkative state, you're with someone there, he's there to push you and set. So if you guys take what we're going to teach you tonight and implement this into every Sarge, your level of game is just going to skyrocket.
yeah, I mean, naturals,
they will constantly and frequently blow out their own friends in this chase to get that chick in the set that seems most receptive, that seems like the low-hanging fruit. And then what ends up happening is that the girl gets so much validation from three guys who are supposedly best friends killing each other to get her, she doesn't need to fucking go that night anymore. Because she got her emotional payoff for the night. She's done. She can go home now, feeling good. So, that having been said, let's move to the next slide.
Let's talk about getting altitude, almost, and what that means is zooming out of the situation so that you can zoom back in with more clarity. So what I wrote down is winging in such will reward the PUA for opening, as he will choose the target and get to escalate, while the wing who does not open is going to be punished for not opening, and in turn will not get laid, and will have to entertain the fat chick. Aspiring PUAs who have compulsive approach anxiety will tend to wing more, and since they are uncalibrated, will begin to tailgate you and then get you blown out of set. And what I mean by that is, could you come in hot to this set right here? And I'm winging him. Stop. You're gonna notice like a lot of guys that you go out with, your regular friends that are not in the community, he's gonna be like, you're a 2 set coming in. But he's coming in super confident, ballsy, while your friend is sitting back, lowering your value, like behind him. And she can see that. So she's sitting here, you may be confident, ballsy, but she knows who you're hanging out with. And you're hanging out with a low value guy, then this guy must be low value. Which drops his value. So you become value sucking.
Yeah, I mean, in a nutshell, I mean, what he's saying there is that the next rule of winging is the guy who opens gets to choose who is his target. That's the guy who gets to pick which girl he wants, and the other one has to run the obstacles, okay? And that continues to be the case until one of two things happens. Either she blows him out, or he permanently ejects from the set. And when I say permanently ejects, I don't mean a roll-off and coming back. I mean, he leaves for good. He's going on with no intention of reopening again. And not a ploy, but a real rejection.
So it's going to teach you guys, like, you might start as winging until you get used to it, but sooner or later you're going to have to open. Because when you see a target that you want, you got to just go in and get it. If you're the first one, then your wing by default has got to wing you. And it's like a family. So basically I'm saying stop being a dick and open the set. Because if you don't open the set, then you're going to be stuck winging. I'd rather be the one gaming the girl and, you know, scoring a touchdown at the end of the night, rather than escorting someone around and playing the, what's the word I'm looking for?
Bitch.
Perfect.
Tag along.
Winging and peacocking. A lot of guys, like, they've taken this peacocking concept, like, out of control, or they're not doing it at all. And then they're going out together, completely dressed up, with fucking both of them have top hats and goggles. And when two guys dress the same, women take that as gay. So if you're both overly peacocking, they're not even like looking at you as a sexual being. They're like, you're like asexual. So when you go out with your wing, treat it as a PUA. It's like his birthday. Let him dress up, go a little over the top, whether he's wearing a suit or whether he's like getting eclectic. And as you as a wing, be a little more casual, a little low key. And I have a thing where, say like the higher status, the higher social value, you need to defer that to the primary, to the PUA. For example, a student of mine, I took him out and I dressed him in a suit, and I dressed him in a suit. Now, he's an older guy, and then I'll go ahead and play his employee, like his submissive in a way, where he can go into the set and go talk to that girl, and I can come up and say something like, you know, hey boss, man, thanks for inviting me to the Christmas party. I'm having a great time. Can I get you another drink, man?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks, man. Which is bringing his value up, it's blasting it. And I can play that role as the wing. You see the status differential right there? And that's really key, because women like me know are responding to social value. And it's the same. Let the primary stand out. He's the rock star of the day.
And when you're just starting too, you guys don't have to do it day by day. You should really just be alternating. Just, okay, I'm gonna open this set now, so I'm gonna be the primary in this set. Okay, that was mine, your turn now, and keep switching back and forth. Because what happens frequently, if one guy is constantly opening and the primary and the other guy's constantly winging, what happens is, and I've seen this happen a lot of times, the guy who's more frequently the wing, his opening muscle will atrophy, and he will lose his ability to open. And that's never a good thing, because the whole pickup is really about opening compressed down to 2 seconds. It's a microcosm of the whole thing. But that's a talk for another day.
So we're going to go play by play, and we decided that we're going to give you icons in a way to get an overview of what's going on in the set. So we're going to take you step by step through the process. So you want to talk about the lone wolf?
Okay. The lone wolf. This is almost not even relevant to this winging topic, but because you're going to frequently go out with a buddy, let's address it. If you see a woman alone in a club, approach her immediately. Do not hesitate to approach her. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Go straight to that pussy. Okay? Because what's going to happen is the first guy to open her, and open her confidently, and escalate, is going to bang her later that night. Why is this? Because a girl that goes out by herself, she could go out with her girlfriends. Why is she not going out with her girlfriends? She's not going out with her girlfriends. Why?
Because she wants to get laid.
Oh, there you go. She's looking to get laid. She doesn't want the judgment of her girlfriends on her because she knows what she wants to do tonight. Okay? So she wants to get picked up. She wants to go home with someone. So, in this scenario, next slide. You approach her immediately. Now what does this guy do here? Does he stand and watch like this so he can learn something from it? I mean, that's kind of the reason why I want to do this talk here also, is because I spend a lot of time here in Vegas, and I've had it happen to me a couple times, but it happens to me a lot in New York too, is, guys there'll be 10 guys standing in a corner, and they're all watching me in the set. And that doesn't help me. The woman feels the eyes on her, okay? So don't do that. If you want to watch, turn to the side, use your peripheral vision, take out your phone, you're texting, okay? Be a little slick about it. Do a 3-man shot. See, I'm looking at the camera now, but it looks like Ryan and I are just in a conversation, okay? So when we talk about the wing going into standby mode, he doesn't go into the set and say, hey, how's everything going here? Is everything okay? Because the ultimate goal here is for them to be alone, right? Okay? The whole time. The quicker the primary gets to be alone with the target, the sooner he gets to build comfort and connection and everything else that you need in order to take her out of there. What else standby? What else does standby mode mean?
Just be ready for anything. This guy may not have a condom on him. Actually, condom check right now. Who's got him with him?
Yeah.
Oh, damn! Thank you!
Ow!
Or different sizes, different brands.
Did you
Look.
just never
You
know?
never know.
Left front pocket guys at every Sarge
Oh,
and
that's
every
fine.
meeting.
Can I have that back?
I got 4 too.
You never know.
Four, look at that. Your wing may not have a con. Tell me the story from the other day.
So I had a student once, and he was wired up. We use audio equipment. We wire you up so that I can hear your conversation and give you feedback after the fact. And he was in set, and the girl was down. This was Mandalay Bay. This was a couple weeks ago, and she was like, "Well, do you have a condom?" And I could see on his face and from the way he was acting, he did not have a rubber. So because I had heard this, and I was kind of playing with my phone, I reached in my pocket just like I did just now. And as soon as he came over, we didn't even have to talk about it. I just gave him a condom. He went back to her, he pulled her upstairs, he got laid. And yeah, that's wingmanship, and that's standby mode. I was there, I was playing with my phone, I'm watching, and that's it.
There was another time I had a student in there, and he's with a girl. He's holding her hand, And he's looking back at me, giving me this signal, and I could feel it. Right out of the front pocket, right into his back pocket. He looks back and he winks. And he was home with her in the next 20 minutes. And what would have happened? So, if you're not having one in your pocket, if you don't have one in your wallet,
You're not serious.
right, you're actually telling yourself again, like, maybe this isn't really going to happen for me. Well, I would start at the end of every sarge by working my way from the end first. As if I was going to extract the girl, out from the bar and say, hey, we're going to go have breakfast, but the seduction and sex is going to take place in the car. Why not have them ready right there in your door? So start at the end to...
Yeah, and here's the other thing people don't realize about this. If you don't have a rubber on you, what you're saying is you don't really believe you can get laid. You don't really have the confidence that this can happen for you. Number one. And number two, if a woman turns to you at any point and says, do you have a rubber? Like what happened to me last night in PUA, where she said, do you have a rubber? And I took it off and I actually whipped my dick out and I started to put it on. And you don't have a rubber on you, what you're communicating to her is that you don't believe you ever get laid. You don't have one-night stands. You don't do same-night lays. This is not a regular thing for you. You're probably not good at that. And if you're not good at that, you're probably also not good at sex. So why should she have sex with you? She could just masturbate. Okay? These are all of the things you're communicating to her when she says, do you have a rubber? And you're like, no. Okay? So they read into everything. Every little thing you do, they fucking they crank that dial up and they multiply it times 1,000. Am I wrong, Laura?
Not at all.
Okay. Thank you for... What's the next slide? Next slide. Lone wolf. This is called mini isolation. We'll go more into that in a few minutes.
Cool. Again, you're in there, standby. Also, guys, this is going to happen. Nate might see a girl and he's just like, she's hot, and he goes in and it hooks. And they're gone. They're going to either go get some food or he's taking her back to the car or he's taking her back to the house. If you're the wing, don't bitch out and be calling him like, I need a ride. You get your fucking cell phone, you get a cab, you walk.
Yeah, you're a grown-ass fucking man. Be a grown-ass fucking man, okay? I mean, one of the things that I get criticized for is for not having kid gloves and not treating you, like your children, because you're not fucking children, okay? Grab your fucking dick and your balls and be a fucking man, and that's it. And women want men. Men who lead, men who have rubbers, men who whip their cocks out because they have cocks and they want to get them sucked and fucked. Okay? What you'll notice is she's facing away from him, so even if he is gawking or leering too much, she can't really see that.
Which you shouldn't be, because most likely you're going to be in a casino, sit down on the slot, look like you're texting, or if you're on the street, just incognito, whatever you need to do. Okay, we're going to go old school mystery method on a 2-set. You have a 2-set. Your wing, your primary, you need to come in. Your primary is going to open where your wing stands by and he's waiting for the hook point. You're going to open, falls time constraint, but the key on the mystery method one to make it work is to let her know that you are there with someone. Because this obstacle, she's looking for candy too. And if you're sitting there bullshitting with her, she's going to start looking around. 2, this only works if they didn't see you come in together. She's going to see one guy coming in. She says, why did you ditch your friend? We were just talking about this the other day. What was your first thought?
There you go.
Right. Leave no one behind. So this will work if it's a huge mega club and maybe your buddy went to the bathroom and you just happen to, oh, hey, what's up? Did you see my, oh, hey, there he is. See how we're coming in, on this one, Mr. Mother, you're kind of coming in indirect and a little under the radar. Again, following the sequence, negging the target, DHV, AI your wing, give them some value so that when it comes in the set, the obstacle's like, oh, I'm thrilled to talk to this guy. When we're in here, you're going to begin to slowly reposition. We're going to do an example with you guys in a second. You're going to reposition around. The wingman's coming in with the obstacle. The wing never kino escalates the target. If I've gone in, I'm mingling with my target, I might high five or spin around. The wing does not fucking come in and then spin my target. Right? He doesn't sit there and try to hug on her. He gives her a formal handshake or a fist bump at most. Stay conservative, keep the PUA at higher value, and isolate the obstacle. Then you're going to begin to rove around into mini isolation. The wing again is moving, starting to reposition. Mini isolation occurs. Now the girls are back to each other. They can't see each other, so they can't code each other. And Laura and Michelle, could you guys come up? And
You want to do this now, or you want to do this on the tandem one? It's easier.
let's show them now.
Okay.
And then I want you to talk about the eye coding. You will position here and here. I didn't do that. So when I'm coming in, if you want to take the spot, and I'm trying to talk to Michelle here, I'm kind of leading her around as he's isolating the obstacle on the side. Slowly they're going to start turning their body. And now I can see him, so I can code him. Their girl code is canceled. Every winging venture needs to end in mini isolation. At this point, you know, I got to get out of here in a second, but you seem pretty cool. Like, we're actually having a pool party and barbecue next week. You got you and your girlfriend should go through.
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You on Facebook?
Yep.
If I send you a friend request, will you accept it?
Sure.
Promise?
Yep.
Pinky promise? Stamp it?
I've done this before.
Double stamp it? Kiss it? Blow it up. You're cool. Damn. And you're taking a number. Either that, either I'm number closing and I'm going to build a time bridge and I'm going to have her locked into an event next week, or I'm going to say, you know, we're actually going to go get some food. You guys want to go?
Sure.
Don't get a big head. I'm not promising you another good conversation from now.
Me neither.
Take it out. Okay? You want to go into eye coding? Thank you, guys.
Okay, so yeah, let's leave them up there for this. Go back to where you were. We'll be back to back. Ryan, jump back in the same position. So we're talking about eye coding for a second. Some people call it girl coding. What's girl coding? Actually, what even better? Can you guys just girl code for a second? No talking, just girl code. That was girl code, right? That was an exaggerated version of it. Anybody could see that and wouldn't miss it.
That was good.
But
Well, you'd be surprised.
yeah, but usually girls that know each other well can do it much better than what she just did. But they
Yes.
just met, so they're not completely in sync
Can
yet.
I demonstrate girl code when we do the back-to-back?
Yep.
I don't know if you do this, but this is what my friends do. We'll be back-to-back, guys will split us up, and there's this.
Okay. So one of the things you want
And
to do.
that's code for get the hell out of here.
So this is a good point. So one of the things you want to do, what we don't have a lot of room to do here, is when you spin them back to back. Go back to back
Maybe over
again.
here.
Yeah. You need to just if you keep backing up, she's going to move forward just because she has to hear what you're saying sometimes, right? But,
I need to not be within arm distance of my friend.
did you see that frame? So yeah, not within arm distance, and then even then, she might like reach back around for her.
But then you just look like an idiot.
Yeah, that's going to give you a few seconds to maybe your next statement or question will bring you back up. Now, let's talk about eye coding for a second. You can't talk about eye coding without talking about the pull-away girl, because they're connected, and most guys don't realize this. Yeah, you guys can sit down.
Yeah. Thank you. Give him a hand, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Team spirit.
I will not be thanking you later.
Okay, so you guys, you all know about the pull-away girl, that chick that just wants to fuck everybody up, that doesn't want anybody to get laid, right? Who here has met her? Have you ever met her? You've never met her?
Wow.
No?
I'm just checking out something.
Yeah, okay. All right. All right. So here's the thing with that girl. I'm going to explain to you where her head is at, and now you're going to be able to handle her. She is always the least. You ever notice how frequently she's almost always the least attractive girl in the group? Anybody?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So why is that? Anybody got any theories? Throw out some theories. One theory. What's that?
Probably gonna get laid.
She doesn't get laid?
Miserable and uncomfortable.
She's miserable and uncomfortable?
She doubts she will get laid.
She doubts she will get laid?
She's bitter.
Ooh, insecure, bitter? Okay, you're right. They're all right. But it's really just a small part of the equation. Okay? The biggest part of the equation is this. Is that she polices the value of the group. And if you come up and she doesn't think you're good looking enough, or you have high energy enough, or you're trying to take more value from the group that you're bringing to the group, then she has to cut you out of the group. Because she recognizes that she is the weakest link in the group. And if that group goes out several times in a row, and they don't have fun, and they don't meet cool guys, then the group is going to start to look around at the other members of the group who are on this island, and they will say, who is the weakest link? And they will vote her ass off the island. Okay? So what she's really doing when she's doing that is she is protecting her position in the group. Women are far, far more political when it comes to calculating who and what their social circle is than men are. Men are just like, hey, you're around me, that's cool, let's go hang out. Women are strategic. They're playing a giant freaking chess game. Okay? And this is what we're learning here, how to play the chess game also. Now, does that make sense to you guys? Does that now make sense? Because really, let's be honest. Yeah, she's insecure. Yeah, she's bitter. Truth is, so are the rest of the chicks. She doesn't think she can get laid? Yeah, I think she thinks she can get laid. Maybe not with guys as good looking as her friends can, or with guys who have game as solid as her friends, as the guys that her friends get. But she can still get laid. She's a woman. I mean, how hard is it for a woman to get laid? All she needs to do is fucking lie down in the middle of the dance floor of a club and open her legs. It's not challenging.
That actually doesn't work.
Really? I like her. What club you go to? I just want
Blue Martini did not flip and work.
Blue Martini didn't work?
Obviously not.
I was not there that night.
You were not there that
No, I was
night.
not.
You were in New York.
Yeah. I like to have fucking an audience, so. Yeah. That would be literally a fucking an audience. So, alright. So, eye coding. Here's what happens. You guys think that pull-away girl is always working her thing because of that reason. The reality is, 50% of the time that pull-away girl pulls your girl away, or the cock block, or whatever you want to call her. It's not because she's just being a bitter, insecure person protecting her slot on the island. It's because she got eye-coded to do so, and you guys were not really observing your target, and you turned your head for a moment, and that's where she eye-coded, and then she came over and pulled her away. And the reason... that barbecue Korean beef was so salty and so dehydrated. The reason why she pulled her away was because you missed the eye coding. We noticed this once. I did a recording because we have hidden video recording equipment. We did a recording of a guru, actually, that some of you guys might know. I was helping him, and he was in set, and he did a break rapport, and he thought the break rapport went really well. And he just kind of turned away for a second, came back, and the conversation continued again for another 25 minutes or so. He even number closed her. They set up a day 2. He thought it was a great interaction. We went back and we watched the videotape, and what he found was when he broke rapport with that girl, and he thought it was funny, and he just glitched his head for a second. At that moment, she turned around to her friend. She did something like this real quick, which he didn't notice. Okay, so that is that's an extreme example of an eye code, but shouldn't do it that extremely either. But it's also the value of getting professional feedback. There's a moral of the story there, and also recording yourself in set like we do. We also do audio equipment where we wire you up that I was talking about earlier. But back to what we were saying, The other 25% of the time, the girl pulls away. There's some other political thing going on there that you don't understand, like the girl is dating the cousin of the pull-away girl or something like that, and she's just policing fidelity as opposed to value. Then there's about 20 to 25% of the time that the pull-away girl is just being a socially uncalibrated bitch. And she just doesn't think that you are either A, good-looking enough, or B, she's just being uncalibrated. And if you get your game to the point where you can sense when that 20% occurs, then just fucking call her out on it right there. Be like, hold on a second. Me and your friend is digging me, and I want to give her a chance to continue to win me over. You know? And now, even before doing that though, that's a last resort method. And that's only if you're certain that she's doing it in an uncalibrated way. Here is the best way to handle a pull-away girl. Okay? She comes up, always, whenever there's an interrupt coming, address the interrupt before it addresses the set. Okay? So, hey, how you doing? My name is Nathan. Oh my God, pull-away girl. It's usually a little heavier, usually has great lips. So this is mine. You're like, oh my God, you have great lips. You're beautiful. Oh my God, you know who would love you? I have a friend, Richard. He's a doctor. You're exactly his type. Oh my God, I have to introduce you guys. Anyway. So now you brought value to her. You have a friend, Richard, who's a doctor. Okay? Now she wants you to stay. She wants you to become part of her social circle because she wants Richard to be in her social circle. Okay? Would that work, you think, Laura? Yeah. And thank you. So that is the best way to handle a pull-away girl. If she still insists on pulling away, then you can do the other thing, which is listen to your friend and I. But here's the other thing I would say with obstacles. Break rapport with them one time just to demonstrate and prove that you're a cool guy and you're not a pussy and you're a man and you have a dick and balls. Balls are more important in this particular situation. But don't break rapport with her more than once. If you break rapport with her more than once, you run the danger of either A, pissing her off, or B, accidentally driving attraction. Talking about accidentally driving attraction, that's one thing that a lot of guys do when they come into a set with the target as a wing. They come in as a wing, they're supposed to be getting the obstacle, and they accidentally drive attraction with the target. They should not be breaking rapport, running any attraction material on the target. Concentrate on running your obstacles. You're going to have enough work with that. You guys follow that? You guys understand that point? Yeah. Okay. Do you?
Someone didn't.
No? Okay.
Someone said no. I understand what you're saying.
Okay. All right. Who said no? Somebody said no. I promise I'm not going to...
I said yup. Maybe
Yep.
that was a no.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, that would.
All right.
I see when everyone says, like, you know, in the audience, I say, yeah, that's it. You've never seen it.
All right.
It's like this.
All right. So that was eye coding, that was pull away, tandem and direct. All right, tandem and direct. All right, so he talked about how in the previous example, one guy opened, he waited towards the hook point, and then the other guy opened. Here's the problem with that model. Women are extremely observant, as basically has been the recurring theme of what I've been saying up here. And when you walk in a room, unless it is a massive auditorium, coliseum-sized room, she sees exactly who you walked in with. She knows already what the nature of the relationships with all of those people are. And she's already scoped out your whole social circle. And she already knows the hierarchy of it also. They really are that observant. Don't think for a fucking second they're not. And once you underestimate them, that's when they're going to chew you up and spit you out. Okay? So that's number one. So if you open by yourself, the first question then that she asks herself is, why did he leave his friend? What does it subcommunicate to the girl if you walk away from who she can only assume is her best friend in the world to go talk to a complete stranger? What does it subcommunicate to her about her importance to you? What does it subcommunicate to her
about your loyalty as a friend? What does it subcommunicate to her about your neediness? What does it subcommunicate to her about tons of other things? Okay? Second problem. This is a Vegas problem, especially. In Vegas, these girls come to town with what I call a DTF pact. Down to fuck pact. They both want to fuck, but they're not going to fuck unless the other one does, because that gives them, that's like insurance at the blackjack table. That gives them insurance that, reasonably, that secret, what happened there, will go to the grave with them. Because one can't call the other one out for being a slut because she did exactly the same thing in the next bed. Okay? She's getting a big kick out of this. So next slide.
Well, I was going to say, so we go in tandem because the Mr. method will work. And if he went to the bathroom and that was my target and I had to open and he had to come in later, it's still going to work. But if you want consistent results, you guys got to go in tandem together.
Yeah. Especially in Vegas. Now, you're still going to have a primary and you're still going to have a wingman. The wingman is going to go in with him about a half a step behind him. Okay? And what I've seen happen in Vegas lots of times is I'll open a girl. Wait a second. We're going to pretend you're a girl for a second. And there'll be a friend behind her, and I'll accidentally, open this way just because I'm at the bar and it's just a casual open or something. And there's a friend behind her, and I see the friend behind her doing something like this. Okay, that's an exaggeration, but I've seen it enough times at this point to realize that what she's doing is she is, as Ryan said earlier, looking for a piece of candy for herself. Okay? Now, if they have a DTF pack, like they're on vacation or they're tourists, and there's no candy there for her, come on, let's get out here. Okay? So let's, next one. Okay. So mini isolation, again, you saw us do it earlier. Everything you do, you want to go immediately as quickly as possible to mini isolation. Spinning into the outside. How do you spin to the outside? I'll just spin you, right? If you just talk to somebody, if you just talk to somebody and you're moving your body as you're talking, and you just kind of swing, they will move. Now, if they're extremely stubborn and they don't move, then you can always move people just by kind of tapping them in the elbow. You don't even need to push them. The amount of pressure that with the finger collapses, that's enough. Okay, just like that.
It's the craziest thing too, because people will respond. Stay here for a second. This is off the subject, but sometimes you'll get an internal or external interrupt. You get someone trying to AMOG you and come in, and you can actually reposition their body as a barrier to shut them out.
Yeah, if you
and they'll respond. And I've never had a problem with just talking to someone. Oh, scoot right here, and they'll go with it.
If you have enough pull in the set and you're at that point where you can do that, that is awesome, and it's very dominant, and it turns a woman on when you know how to touch her and move her body in a way that's not awkward.
That was awkward.
Yeah.
Sexual harassment.
So that's mini isolation, what we just discussed. And you'll see their backs are to each other. There's a space there. Next slide.
Cool.
Okay.
So we're going in tandem direct this time. Again, he's stepping one step back. You guys know the difference between direct and indirect? Indirect is a little more coy, a little more playful. You're not really telegraphing interest. Direct is I'm coming straight on. I'm telegraphing interest. This girl's hot. She knows it. She knows I want to fuck her, and I'm not afraid to let her know that. And it's really, again, like they're DTF already, and they're looking for guys that are ready to make it happen. A lot of girls come to Vegas, they want to fuck, and they don't want the bullshit of the, guys, quick question, can I get an opinion on this? So again, we're going in together right here. I'm going to go, if I'm the primary, I'm going straight to my target. I'm going to telegraph my interest, and my wing is just there to isolate the obstacle. We're going to begin repositioning, and we come back to mini isolation again. And then we're going to move this whole set to upstairs. to the car, wherever it's got to go. And you're on again now.
Okay, 3 set. Remember the standby? So you're going to go in, you're going to enter at where there's a target and one obstacle. Okay? Now keep in mind, these obstacles, they're pink eggs right now, but they can be blue eggs, or as I mentioned earlier, they can be half blue and half pink. So they can be dudes, they can be guys, this can be a mixed set, and it's still the same thing. I mean, when you talk to a guy, guys are actually so much easier to wing than women, too. Because what can you talk to about a guy if you need to wing a guy? What? So, football, sports, what else?
Girls.
Any other ideas?
Alcohol.
What else?
Cars.
Oh, money. Guys love talking about money, sports, cars. That's it. Like I've winged guys by talking about the seating capacity of stadiums. Like, wow, that's a 30,000 seat stadium? Wow, I didn't know that was that big a stadium. Wow, is that the biggest stadium there is? Really? Really? And you know what the crazy thing is, that nobody fucking talks to guys in bars. So you talk to a guy, he is so eager to talk. Really. He just wants somebody to talk to him.
Do you ever need to open a guy? Some students, they can't even open a target, and they need to open a guy first. If you want a guy to just light up and respond the way that you go direct on one of those girls, you might come in and, dude, where'd you get your tie, bro? Oh my god, I got it at the thrift store, actually, $9. Dude, I would totally rock something like that. It's fucking cool, bro.
Thank you. Kick ass.
You know, give a guy a compliment. The things that you would naturally do to a girl that you think would respond, like, you are so hot. And you think she's going to be like, oh my god, I love you. And it doesn't work? Just do that naturally on guys.
Yeah. All right, you want to go to the next one?
Yep.
Okay. So, in the very beginning, you're going to have to entertain the group. This is where working on your attraction game comes in, the first 3 minutes of the game. And you need to just get people to accept you. Okay? Once they accept you, that's it though. End that. Don't be a dancing monkey. Don't stay there doing this for 20 minutes. Okay? And this guy's in standby. Let's talk about what standby means a little bit more in this context. Next slide, maybe we'll talk about that. Okay. All right. So now, like I said, don't have to do that for 20 minutes. Break the set into 2. Isolate your chick.
So we call these subsets, when you start splitting a bigger set into smaller sets. And he's going to be in standby here, not only waiting in case this is going to split, but an obstacle can also be an entity. It could be this girl takes out her phone. She just got a call from her boyfriend, and now this girl is standing around looking around. And she's going to grab her friend because she's got nothing to do.
So how do you do this? You basically just start talking to this girl. That's it. That's all there is to do this. Good, next slide. He's spinning around. Now he's in mini isolation again. Her back is to her friends. Okay? Now, this is a good example where maybe this girl gets a phone call, right? And she answers the phone call. If you see that phone ring and she pushes, that she's taken the call, what happens to this girl? Go ahead. No, go back one then. Cursor. Can't just. Then this girl will become a loose radical, as we called it.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to be in there immediately, right? And you need to come in and you need to stand here, facing the other way, occupy her. But as soon as she hangs up the phone, guess what you got to do? You're not there to get laid. Mazzy, guess what you got to do?
You gotta entertain both of them.
No. You get the fuck out. You leave. There's 2 girls. They can entertain each other. They're going to entertain each other all night long. Okay? You're by yourself. Don't stay in there. Leave. It's not for you. This is not your set. It's not about you getting laid. It's about him getting laid. Okay? If you stay in there and you can't occupy or run a 2 set, if you have a certain level of competence, then you can do it. If you can't stay in there and completely occupy and run a 2 set to infinity, then leave, because you're endangering the set. It's actually worse for you to be there than it is for you to not be there. Of course, depending on your skill level slightly. Go ahead, what's the next slide?
We gotta have fun with this one. The 4 set is it's an interesting beast to work. You got 4 girls, there's 2 of you. The wing, if you're not at like master level, I would just leave this set altogether, because you gotta have some fucking skill and some calibration here. So, but you're gonna go in, again, just like the 3 set, you're gonna begin to hold court while the wing is in standby mode here. And you do that for a second, and you're gonna go into your target. You have to enter on this side of the set, because if your target is on the far side, you're gonna get stuck. It's kind of like the mystery method theory, where if Laura was my target at the end of that table, and you guys are 20 set here, I can't start here and start entertaining you and work my way over here, because it's like there's an invisible curtain in the way. So in these sets right here at this table, we'll split into 1 set, and this table will split into a second set. So 2 subsets of the 20. So wherever the side of your target is, that's where you need to enter.
Now here's what I would say. You enter a 4 set, you're the 5th person. So the 4 set sort of becomes a 5 set. Now here's the social dynamic behind conversation. One conversational topic cannot be sustained in a group of 5 or more people for any length of time. So what inevitably happens, and think about it in your own world, even in work, what inevitably happens is the group divides into 2 separate groups. 1 3 set and 1 2 set, each with their own conversational threads. Okay? So knowing that will inevitably happen with a 4 set, what's your move?
So the primary is going to begin to reposition again for the target, starting to work on his mini isolation, and the wing is going to enter in. As soon as that happens, this girl is left out of here, because now I've split from a 3 set, I'm splitting into a 2 set, and I have a loose radical. So he's going to enter her. He can either come in as a stranger, he doesn't have to come in like as he was with the wing, or if I threw an AI, it could work both ways. So we're going into mini isolation here, but what happens, it starts getting kind of weird. I can kind of pull her away from the group and really start conveying my personality and building attraction, but you're going to end up having more obstacles. Now this one begins to talk to the other one, and now she's left out. So you as the wing are going to have to rover around. So I said, as a wing, it's your job to handle the obstacles and the loose radicals. The wing will need to reposition to handle internal and external interrupts. The wing will continue zone coverage regardless of how on he thinks it is with his obstacle. Again, you're not there to get laid. You just have to hold this set, giving the primary enough time to upload his value. So now you're in this situation where you still have a mini ISO, but you have to be on standby pretty much for the zone defense to be moving in and out here. At that point, you're going to begin kind of holding court with all 3, and sooner or later this is going to divide again. Right?
Well, let me say something about this. You don't necessarily, there's 3 here, so you don't necessarily want to hold court with all 3 all the time, because 2 of them are going to occupy each other at any one time, which leaving 1 unoccupied. Okay? Now, the thing is, you're the wing here. Let's say you're talking to this obstacle, and you've been talking to this obstacle for a long time, and you or her are starting to build some real chemistry, and you're totally feeling each other, and you're like, this girl is going to fuck me tonight. Okay? And then she gets engaged by this girl in a conversation, and they start talking, and this one becomes, let's say she gets engaged by this girl, and they start talking, and this one becomes just kind of talking to nobody. Well, she's going to start looking over here and start looking to be the pull-away girl, maybe. Okay? But man, this is so on with this girl. What do you do, Mazen?
I would go to the one that is unoccupied, because there's no intent of having sex that night. It's all about the intent of what you display in the environment that you place yourself in.
That's right.
The type of responses that you're going to get.
I don't care.
From both of you.
That's right. I don't care how strong your connection is here. That's not your job that night. Okay? Your job is to go there. Alright? And if then she starts talking to her and it's up, then you can come back. If not, too fucking bad. Okay? And that's why it's zone defense.
Rich, you had that issue, right? Where you were in the training and the dude bounced with the target and you had to be stuck with the obstacle and you were entertaining her because you knew like you couldn't.
That was at Pure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go back.
That's one of those things where I was getting a really good connection with the girl I was with, but because my wing had taken this girl to her room, if I had screwed up with her friend, she would have raced right back up to the room and messed everything up. So I had to entertain her and just basically keep my hands off the whole time. Even though, I mean, we really were making a really good connection, I don't want to risk spoiling my wingman's night.
Okay. So here are a couple general wingmanship things that apply. We're going to just cover some very basic concepts. One of them is, how do you come into the set? The other one is, what is an AI? And the last one is, how do you ask someone to leave a set? Okay? So remind me if I lose track which ones I haven't covered yet. How do you come into a set? So let's get Ryan up here whenever he's feeling better. Or how about you, Michelle? I'm not even sure I'm easier for this. How do you come into a set? So I have to figure out a way to communicate to my wing who my target is and who's the obstacle. Laura, can you come up here too? So now, what you want to do is you want to talk with your wing beforehand and you want to establish what your house rules are going to be. But generally, these are the industry accepted rules, okay? So let's say I'm talking to them and Ryan comes in. I might say, have you met these girls? This is my friend Ryan. Ryan is awesome. I love traveling with him. This is Michelle. Michelle is kind of cool.
Hey, what's going
This
on?
is Laura. I haven't really decided about her yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now, can you guys tell me who my target is in that scenario? That's right. Why?
Because it's a veiled insult.
Because you're giving her a challenge.
That's right. I'm giving her a challenge.
Because you're making me have to win you over.
That's right. That's right. Okay? So, now, in Vegas you can get away with this. It's a little gamey, and you got to be at a certain point in the set where you know you've got at least some basic attraction from her going that you can be a little bit gamey and playful. But you want to be playful all the time. But, okay, so that's one way to do it, right? Now, let's say he comes in and he happens to come in on the wrong side.
Mm-hmm.
Which happens, right? Okay? So I'll say that, and then he'll know, and then we can just switch. You know?
Let's start it from the beginning.
Okay. Just
reverse.
okay. You opened or I opened?
Yeah, that's fine. You do.
Okay. Oh my God, this is my friend Ryan. He's awesome. I love hanging out with him. So much fun. And this is Michelle. She's kind of cool. This is Laura. I haven't quite decided about her yet.
No, you repeated. I thought you were going to do a reverse.
Oh, you want to do a reverse?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay. I'm sorry. My bad.
Cut it.
My bad. Okay. This is Ryan, awesome guy. Okay. This is Laura. She's kind of cool. This is Michelle. I haven't quite decided about her yet.
Oh, right on. So then he's going to, hey, what's going on? And we meet ISO again. A little just tap on the waist, a little shoulder. Yeah, this is my good buddy. Throw him over.
That's it. And what now? That was how you bring them in. Okay. AI. What are the things? Accomplishment introduction. What you saw me do when I said, "This is Ryan. He's awesome. So much fun. I love hanging out with him." Okay. That's it. A lot of guys, they read this concept and they go crazy and they proceed to read a resume for the guy, which comes off disingenuous. Okay. So just come up with one or two sentences, things you can say about the guy. And the other thing is, when you AI somebody, you wanna really think about what you're gonna say about this person. Because if you've got a friend that is not fucking funny at all, he's never fucking laughed in his life, right? and he comes in the set with you, and you say, "Oh my God, this guy is so funny." Oh my God. Right? And the girl's gonna very quickly realize this guy is not fucking funny, and then you're a liar.
And therefore we're bouncing.
Yeah, exactly.
So you should see it to begin with, then they'll think say be funny.
Right.
You don't say, why is this, whatever, it's like, I mean, why'd you funny?
Well, here's the thing. If you say something bad about your wing, what does that demonstrate about you and your loyalty and how you view friendship and all of those things that are important to women?
You're lesser.
All right? And anything you say about him, you say, he's a great guy, but he could use a little weight. I'm an asshole now. Or he's a great guy, but I wish he treated his pets better. Now he treats his pets badly, and I'm an asshole for hanging out with a guy that treats his pets badly. Okay? I don't know. I'm trying to come up with something random dude. He treats his pets badly, and I love pets.
Mike is mother.
Yeah. I don't know. He still lives with his mother. I don't know.
Okay, next slide, guys.
But the bottom line is that whatever negatives he has, you inherit them also. Because if he's so bad, why the fuck are you hanging out with him? Why can't you find better people to hang out with? What's wrong with you? Okay? And this is the thing that naturals do. They fucking cut each other down, and they think, as long as I'm not as bad as the next guy, I win. No. She'll just fucking eject you and go find somebody who's not bad, period. Okay? So that's it. One of the things I do is I have a friend who is not a funny guy, but he's actually good at connecting with people a little bit. So I tell him, this guy so good at connection. I don't know what it is about people that love to connect with him. It just is beyond me. So now they don't expect him to be a funny guy. They don't need him to do that. And they're like, oh, wow, that's awesome. And they're just waiting for him to connect. I've opened them like a flower ready to connect for him. Okay? So think about what your wings' pluses and minuses are and come up with an AI that works with that. Make sense? Yeah. Okay. All right, yeah, you guys can sit. What was the last
Can I just make a comment real quick?
Yes, please.
About the opening sets. Now, we established that you picked your target, and then Ryan, a good way to do a good strategy, because I saw you guys got tangled right there, and that right there could just easily, so Ryan should have walked away, around, and slumped himself. It's all about positioning yourself in the right angle to where then you can isolate her, maneuver, and then they're back to back, and they're completely isolated.
You mean before the primary opens or after the primary opens?
During it, after.
Oh, that's a little. Before that totally makes sense, but after he's already been introduced, to walk around the back of them is a little bit
Well,
creepy.
if you're gonna go in front of them, then that kind of just
Well, what it's saying is imagine that you're in a club, dude, and you know how you're shoulder
up
to
here.
shoulder like this?
Yeah.
Come up here. I'll
So-
show you.
It's just a quick.
It's very quick. I'm gonna
What I was saying is
Go ahead.
okay, go. Michelle was your.
tell me how this feels. Go ahead, you keep going. Tell me how this feels. Keep going.
Sure. No, I wasn't doing that. I wasn't gonna order it. I wasn't ordering around there.
It's like if he wanted to talk to you and I was in front and we're like, there's people bumping into us. I'm like, yeah, it's, pretty cool. This is my friend over here.
Right.
But it's it.
Right.
It's better to do that than it is to stand behind some girl.
Then you're orbiting.
And when you go around behind her from the back, you have to stand behind her, unfortunately. But I like the thinking that you're trying to come up with different ways to handle the situation. And the proxemics of every situation are different. Clubs are very crowded, so it's not that weird a thing to do to bump into somebody as you pass them. But that's good. That you guys are now consciously processing this and thinking about the pink and blue eggs. And what was the other thing? There was a third thing. Oh yes, how to tell your wing to get the fuck out of the set. All right, so this is the classic mystery method thing, and this comes from the fact that Mystery is Canadian. He asks about the score of the hockey game. Who the fuck asks about the score of the hockey game? It's such a random thing. It's like more random than beating your pets. He's like, hey, what's the score of that hockey game like? Or something like that, and that's how the guy knows, okay, he's asking me to leave. And the primary has the right to ask you to leave if he thinks, A, you're fucking it up, or B, you have no business being there. There was one other thing I forgot that I'm just remembering now. Where's Michelle? Okay, at the very beginning, when you come up, before the AI, before anything. You're in the set with the two girls. Here, be in this.
Yeah.
He's in the set with the two girls. Turn around. And I come up and I'm like, hey, where's Michelle?
She's at the bar, actually. She's got
Okay.
your money.
All right, thanks. That means he doesn't want me there. Okay? He does not want me there. Now, if I come and I'm like, hey, where's Michelle?
Dude, she just texted me, bro. Hey, meet these two girls.
Oh.
This is blah.
And now you can do, this one's cool, this one I'm not quite sure about yet. Okay? So you got where's Michelle? Then that tells you whether he wants you there or not. Then you got a way to communicate to him who the target is. Okay? And you also have a way to isolate your targets from the previous lecture. You also have a way to tell him to get the fuck out of your life. Okay?
Cool, bro. That's all we have for that presentation. We're gonna put in some